Australia is in the golden era of boxing at the moment in terms of having champions and contenders. We are definitely punching above our weight. But the question I want to ask is, who is the best Aussie fighter at the moment, currently, right now? Actually, it's not even a question. It's Jai Opetaia, easily. Let's dive in. Jai Opetaia is definitely Australia's best fighter currently. He is the IBF, Ring Magazine, and also lineal cruiserweight champion. Oh, and he's also a two-time IBF world champion. Jai Opetaia has currently had 26 fights with 26 wins, with 20 of those wins coming via way of knockout, giving him a 77% KO ratio. The guy's 6'3" or 191 centimeters. And like a lot of champions these days up at the top level, is a southpaw, which I believe has some advantage, especially when you're fighting against orthodox fighters a lot, where orthodox fighters don't fight against southpaw fighters enough, or as much as southpaw fighters fight against orthodox fighters. That's why southpaws have that advantage. Jai Opetaia, as one of the best, not just Australian fighter, but also one of the best in the world, especially at the cruiserweight division, has a few options ahead of him at the moment. One of the options is to drop down and fight the unification title holder, Artur Beterbiev, who just recently beat Bivol. This would be an interesting clash. It is for a unification bout, so it is enticing. However, I don't think it's the best option for him, especially at this moment. And also, I think there is probably more draw for Artur Beterbiev fighting against Bivol again for a rematch. So it'd be a bit difficult to try and make a fight at that lower division, a division that you're not in, to fight for a unification title when other people are waiting to fight for at least one of those belts that he has. The other option that has been discussed or mentioned is the option of him moving up to the heavyweight division and potentially fighting Alexander Usyk for the unification titles if Alexander Usyk beats Fury, or fighting Fury if Fury beats Alexander Usyk. However, I don't think this is a viable option either, considering that there are other fighters, again, waiting in line for these titles, like Triple D, waiting to see who wins out of this clash between Usyk and Fury, so then he can try and challenge the winner of that clash. Then you've also got other fighters like AJ, who's waiting on the sideline to see probably who loses that fight and potentially fight them, especially if it's Fury. So moving up to the heavyweight division, although I think it might be a viable option later on down the track, depending on how his career is going, how Opetaia's career is going, I don't think it is an option at this current point in time. The best option that I believe for Jai Opetaia is to stay in the cruiserweight division and challenge for at least a unification bout with one of the other champions, and potentially have a target of gaining the undisputed championship in the cruiserweight division. Then and only then I would potentially consider moving up to the heavyweight division and going the same path that Alexander Usyk did. Jai Opetaia has the height, I think he's tall enough, I think he's strong enough. Whether he can put the pounds on to be a bit more competitive weight-wise with the heavyweights, that's still yet to be seen. But that would probably be the most viable option later on down the track. But at the moment, I think all eyes for Jai Opetaia needs to be in the cruiserweight division and dominate and finish that division, finish that level, beat that division, be undisputed, and then maybe defend the undisputed 1 or 2 times, and then consider what you're going to do, whether you're going to go up or down in the weight divisions. But moving up to the heavyweight division would mean he would have to continue to gain more skills and be more skillful than them heavyweights, because he is the same height as Alexander Usyk, and he will be going up against fighters that are taller than him, that are probably a lot heavier than him as well. So that would be a challenge in itself. But in my mind, he has the cruiserweight division to try and conquer before he even thinks about changing weight divisions. And in my eyes, Jai Opetaia is Australia's best fighter at this current point in time. What are your thoughts? Do you think Jai Opetaia is Australia's best fighter? Do you have someone else in mind who you think is Australia's best fighter? We do have a few contenders out there at the moment. Do you think Jai Opetaia should just focus on the cruiserweight division? Should he go up now? Should he go down now? What do you think he should do? Let me know in the comments below. And until next time, peace out.
Myths in boxing, highlight real scene, front row seats to the blow by blow scene.